Who we introducing?
Man, listen.
Who's here? Who have we got?
We brought him back. We know y'all loved him, so we brought him back. So to my right here, y'all already know what it is.
Yeah, it's Ray. You know, Peso. Everything good money. Everything above the sun. We good money, man.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait. They call you Ray, but what's the other?
Peso.
Yeah, Peso.
We go back.
Yeah, Peso was a little name. You know, lots of money was everywhere back in the day. So you know.
He's being.
You one of them. You gotta go get it. Go get it. Okay.
He's being modest. Peso was his stage name.
Oh.
He's being modest. Yeah, I used to keep a little 1-2 top.
You know what I'm saying?
Also talented.
Yeah, you might be able to pull it up on LimeWire.
Oh my goodness, LimeWire. There for those that are young,
y'all probably don't know
downloading apps, some kind of sort of what that we sound like SoundCloud.
Well, sure, you get the download. That's where you get all your free downloads, all your
make you a whole your boy make you a whole
with
CD.
a lot more work to get your music.
You put a whole virus on your computer. Absolutely. Everybody couldn't be out here with the rich mission with the MacBook. We was putting viruses on our computers like your parents coming up pissed like you didn't crash another computer down.
And you know the crazy thing, if your internet was connected to the phone line, you was hoping it did not ring. You was hoping it did not ring.
That would be the worst. Or somebody pick up the phone,
messed up on site.
Straight up. You be like, don't pick up that phone.
Don't. Not my internet connection out.
So that's him. And then to our left here, we got.
It's Preston. Came back for another day. Appreciate y'all having me and everything.
Oh, no.
We lovely ladies and my man Ray over there. So just another day. Just talking about life.
He's being so modest and quiet.
I know.
I'm never quiet.
I'm never quiet.
Okay. I've known this gentleman here since for like ever.
I'm appreciate you putting the word gentleman in there.
Yeah. Skinny Pep was what we used to call him in school. I mean, seriously. I don't know if it's the glasses, but you would never know he could float through the room the way he would.
Innocent look has been working for me for 35 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Knowing your worth is
absolutely.
It's a great thing. That means that, like I said, it means you can work a room.
Absolutely. So
this gentleman here, he's a character. So I can't, we just can't wait to.
We can't wait to dive in and
thanks for having me back.
Yes, for sure. Thank you guys. Yes, thank you.
They both came distances both to sit here. So I mean, if you're tuning in, if you're listening, please just we are organic. We just trying to just. Again, bless your ears. So for people to show up to your dream, that's a huge thing. Forget the money and everything else. For people to show up for your dream. Yes. Talk about fulfillment. So
yes. Absolutely.
Again, gratitude for you both.
Thank you.
That made you here safe and we about to clown.
Amen.
Yeah, because I got my phone, I got screenshots.
Oh my God. And we're going to be pulling from them Facebook pages. Well, Preston's Facebook page.
It's interesting. It gets real interesting.
He be having some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey,
we're going to bring some of that.
We're going to bring it up.
That's fine. Bring it on.
This is like a Vlad interview. You say something and then we bring it to you in court.
That's cool with me.
Right here, right now. Let's talk about
people can send a screenshot. I know what I said.
Okay. A man that came back his word.
Right. Keep that same energy.
Absolutely.
Ray is.
But so
Ray is quiet over there. See, I checked his Facebook. But in front he's real. That's a live wire.
He like shit. He about me in real life.
See, it's like this, right? Naturally, I'm a cool guy. It's just one side. Once we get in motion, everything gets to flowing.
Absolutely. So, and when was your birthday?
January 2nd.
So he a Capricorn. He a Capricorn.
Great energy.
Yes, Capricorn. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
And we the coolest on the earth.
Man,
wow.
He's a fan, man.
He's taking it a little environment.
He's taking. I have plenty of Capricorns around, so I know that energy is undeniable.
Yeah, y'all right.
I cannot. What about you? When's your birthday?
November 7th, Scorpio.
Oh, yo, both Scorpio.
Come on, man.
Oh,
I need to stop and take a drink to this.
Yes, please. Before we get on to the other half, let's go ahead and take our drinks anyway. Come on, we gonna toast one good time. Yes. Before we get into this, so if y'all at home drinking with us, cheers.
Let's unwind, man.
Scorpio season is definitely on the way.
It's approaching.
I'm not even even kidding. I'm not playing no games this year. I'm not. Seriously, if this year hasn't taught you really anything, it's to appreciate
absolutely
the chaos.
2020
with your head up, like, man, celebrate.
You were right.
So nobody don't judge me. Don't talk about me, but it's going up.
She's crazy.
I'm gonna be in his Facebook too, like, hey, remind you, it approaches.
It approaches, right?
Y'all feel it coming.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump right on into this. Now I know we had left off just talking about women and not feeling protected, and we really got into like a good conversation about that and everything. So where you want to start? Where you want to start this off with this one? Well, actually, you know what? I want to go ahead and jump into something new. We got a couple more questions for y'all. We just want to hear y'all's thoughts and see what y'all on. So she had actually sent me a post that we will that y'all see up on the screen right now. But the post was saying that so this is it. I'm gonna read it because it's pretty deep. So it says 43% of boys are raised by single mothers. 78% of teachers are female. So almost 50% of boys have 100% feminine influence while at home, and in 8 out of 10ish chance of 100% influence at school. Toxic masculinity isn't the problem, a lack of masculinity is. So you guys being obviously, males, what are y'all's perspective on that?
And how do you feel about the male influence that, in your lives?
Or lack thereof.
Or,
whatever.
Exactly. Like, where's that line drawn for you guys? Like, really, honestly. Because I don't think I've ever stopped and asked me, what's really been your male influences in your life?
I think, for me per se, like, my male influence was my father.
Shout out to Mr. Jones.
Yeah,
he loves it. Okay, yes. So I know more men raising their children than I know that don't. So
so my dad had 7 kids. I'm the youngest out of 7, but it's 3 different women.
Okay.
So my dad took care of all of us, So me growing up, I saw that and kind of angled that to what I'm doing and to what I think the life of what you need to do, as far as getting taken care of. And I think for him, that was one of a big thing for me. My grandfather, no education, from Tennessee, doing what he had to do to provide for my grandmother and my mother, when she was young. And this ain't an influence, but it's kind of a person I looked up to, maybe for the wrong reason, but I'm gonna just say it out there, older brother of mine.
Okay.
To see a person do what he was doing to get the attention he was getting, that's another thing for real that kind of influenced me. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not gonna go into detail what's what, but
but you know what? I think that to deny the and I'm gonna say this gently, we are seasoned.
Yeah.
It's a lot to say to tone. When you're young, you want to tone it, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't tone it down. You should, if that's what you feel and you acclimate to. Because I came in and they was like, you look cute, and I was like, I just.
And now she tried to play it. She did it like,
because it really is. When people point it out, it's really just in me. It's just what I feel, and I think that sometimes like we want to just downplay that what we feel is. That's it. That's what makes us great. I mean, the fact that you acclimated to it, but you still with the humbleness of it. Is
because I think sometimes growing up, you see what you like.
Yeah.
You see what you like, but you know what's right and wrong.
Yeah,
but even sometimes what's wrong is attractive. So you'll see that and be like, I want to be that. I want that type of image, even though in your brain you like, I know it ain't right.
Right? Yeah.
So you fight a battle growing up. Now once you get older,
I think you just try to figure out how to get it, because the point of if you saw somebody do it, that means you learn how to do it the right way.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like sometimes you take a couple stumbles, but it's a way to do
But is it younger? Cause shoot, that sound like y'all describing some even adults that I know, you know.
But that's the part of perfecting it, because that's the thing about all of this is the person in front of you that you look at, you perfect it the next time you do it again.
Definitely.
Hey, this is I don't work hard. I work smarter.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. So to deny what you come from, that's denying you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Don't humble it. We know why you do what you imagine. You are. Don't knock it. Yeah. Having a family of those siblings and listen, God bless the man that can carry 3 black women and all 7 kids.
Listen.
Okay, so let's owe to that, because a lot of people would not stand and say that, like, 7 kids. I was raised by a set of men.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Gratitude.
So yeah, it's all love on my end. Like the men that came into my life, you know, what y'all see is kind of a mixture. What's the cool me, the aggressive me that y'all hope to never see, but you know, it's just kind of all of what it is.
When you need to protect.
Yeah. When it's the protector, sometimes you know you just gotta let people know we ain't here for game.
Absolutely, but that's a blessing though, that even, you know, with all of those male influences, like, you know, so pretty much what you're saying is you didn't really, I'm pretty sure you had a system that put you in check. I'm sure they will put you in check if they seen anything that was like, all right, that's not how we as Joneses or we as men operate. So you had that checks and balances.
Definitely. I think what it is though, you pull from different what's the word I'm looking for? Like you pull from different things of each man. So whether you might get the humbleness, whether I might get the work ethic of my father, I might get the caretaker of my grandfather, and then from my brother I kind of get that cool fly.
So we are here. This is a blessing to my ears, like to hear that we have a black man sitting here, a black king saying, I've had love, like male influence, like a standard.
And it's good to hear those stories, because in the world that we're in right now, like again, even with that post, toxic masculinity is females everywhere. Like Beyonce said, it's like we do run the world. So that even mean a lot of women are, you know, they're raising these men, these black men by themselves. This is the crazy part of
they're not. Well, because like it's crazy because you don't the dad doesn't have to be present. He's making it known that it's an uncle, a grandfather, it's a brother, a cousin. These are that means that brother turns into an uncle that's helping raise children. That turns into an aunt that's helping raise children.
And to me, honestly, and let me just say this is also a test to Miss Jones, you know, your mother, and she was an amazing woman. God bless the dead. May her rest in peace. I just have to tell a story real quick though. When me and my husband moved, when we was our first like kitchen set, pots, plates. I still have some of the stuff that your mom. I won't let it go.
And
so I won't let it go.
That's why I be saying these queens birth these kings.
Absolutely.
And real quick to touch on that, to my mama, man, you know, that's why I learned to love.
Yes.
I mean, I know I'm going a different direction, but the love of me is kind of where. What you see in me is what my mama gave to me. Not saying my father didn't give me that, but my mama really showed you like what love is.
You know what I mean? That's our job as
nourishment is real. So queens, you don't have to step in a place. That's not for us to feel. I don't understand what a male role is. I only understand what my role is. So I have learned to be appreciative of that and understand what as a woman I cannot be a man.
Facts.
So I can just
never be
no, and as this world goes, like we were talking about the independence thing, be okay with saying I'm independent, but I'm not a man. That means he's a benefactor, a benefit. If this man is in my life, that means if he doesn't, I loved him at one point, whether I'm with him or not, for this greatness. So let him be great to his own, on his own.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a lot of things that we really will study, do all these things except for how to be a good wife. Fall back and let that man be great to his kids, because that's what they deserve.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and real quick, not to cut y'all off, but for the women out there that holds they man for almost like ransom with their kids,
worst thing.
Let them fathers be fathers.
Because they don't think they're great anyway.
Just because they're not with you,
they gonna go follow.
Just because they're not with you you don't mean you gotta take them from their child.
You cannot use kids as pawns, man.
And I see that a lot where dudes is, I'm trying to do this and shit.
Man.
That's toxic. You know, and we talk about toxic masculinity. That's toxic femininity.
And it's sad because I've witnessed it in my own, on my own, and I thought that some of the people that would never do that, they do that. And that's why I say they deserve to have. That means, like, even in my own situation, I was married not once but twice. So, my first husband, he does what he does, but I knew who he was when I married him. But that doesn't mean to my son that he's not great. He deserves to have that. I don't get any satisfaction about going around saying my son doesn't have a father. That's not it. That's not. He does have a father. And nobody has to know what he doesn't do or any of that. All my son needs to know is that he has a relationship with his dad. I paid the cell phone bills since he was 10 years old so he can communicate with him, because that's what he deserves. If that's the case, I hold myself accountable for having a baby with a man.
Exactly.
And therefore I make it better. That's what these queens do. That's why I said I hear what you're saying. I see it. I feel it. And again, on Preston's.
And I want to hear from Preston too on your.
Because he's been so smart. We were actually gifted and talented, right?
That's true. Yep.
And they put a target on our back. Like, the target is fuck. Gary, Indiana is small as hell.
But so I want to hear about the toxic man. Like, what is your standpoint as far as?
So first off, big ups to Ray and his family, his structure and everything, and my condolences to your mother and everything. It was a cool brother to meet you and everything. But on my end, it was opposite. My father wasn't around. And my grandfather was my father figure in my life. He's the one who took me to the baseball games and see Michael Jordan and all that stuff like that. So he was the one I looked up to. I was raised mainly by my mother and my sister, so I do understand that statistic. My question to that statistic is that just a statistic of all males, or is that just a black or white? What is it? In fact, what is the factor come from?
And we do have to look into that, obviously.
We have to look into that as well.
Absolutely.
And you have to look into it, and I hope to say, it's now understanding with empathy.
Exactly.
That means if he wasn't present, that was just something he just wasn't able to get.
Right, and that's what it was. It was he made some bad choices when we was younger, but we made our peace as we go. But as far as I wouldn't call it toxic masculinity, he just wasn't around. He just was absent. So the thing is, and I was hurt over the years. Actually, I just put a status up. I'm pretty sure y'all seen it, because y'all like the status and everything about how when I was younger, my father, he made a promise to me and wrote that promise.
So I did see that.
I had to heal. It took me 12 to 13 years to heal over that. And that's something that a lot of people hold on to from the past. They won't let it go.
Let me ask you something. You saying that you healed from that, because I really feel like you. Okay, so how did you heal from that? Because there are so many people, men and women, that have that same story, that similar story. I'm not trying to be funny, but it reminds me of the Fresh Prince episode when his dad came into his.
That's the one I call to every day.
Yes, we need to
exactly. So please give us.
Oh, absolutely.
What was that process of healing? What did you do?
And it's funny you speak on the episode. This episode touches me every time.
Absolutely.
Because I've been there. And now my healing process was, and it took me a long time, but my healing process was to just say, you know what? It is the past. There's nothing I can change about the past. A lot of people want to hold on to things and just say, oh, well, they did this to me. They did. Okay, well, what is it going to change from your present to your future?
You decided not to be a victim.
I ain't no victim. I decided not to be a victim. I decided not to be bitter. And I'm just say this like this, to be honest. As I got older, we tend, and I know a lot of people who didn't have a father in their life, they tend to think, oh, daddy was a deadbeat. But hell, I don't know what my mama did. I don't know that hey, she might have been bitter, which I don't think, but I just said, you know what, I let it go. I let it all go.
As an adult, sometimes
life is crazy and it's scary and it's difficult. So I just said I let it go. I reached out to him. Me and him talked, and we actually made peace a year before he passed.
Wow.
And if I would have made that peace, I would probably still be messed up to this day.
Yes.
You know what?
But we made a big peace.
My condolences to
appreciate that. So we made our peace and everything, and you know, he apologized to me, my siblings. He just said that, man, I was messed up, and I said we understand that. But even his flaws showed me you can learn good and bad from people.
Yeah.
Because now I'm a father, and I look at it as, well, I don't want to be like my dad.
Yeah. She's adorable.
Well, thank you.
He just posted like while she was sitting here, he was texting her. She's adorable.
Thank you, appreciate it. So that's something I learned, that I have to be a father to my child, because at the end of the day, as a parent, the child didn't ask to be here.
Man, we talked about this taking drinks. Let's take a drink to grow. And we decided to grow to be a better person for your child, for yourself.
Yes.
And cheers.
Yes.
So that was my healing process, just letting it go, not being a victim. So that's all it was.
Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Yes. I've known him forever. This what I see before me, this king, is great to bring him back, because I haven't seen him in a while, but we seriously through middle school, high school, we've always been around each other.
Always.
And it's crazy.
And we left the gifted and talented program. We were both in the gifted and talented program, which I say puts a target on our back. And I'm sad because everybody knows if you in the hood, don't be different.
Right. So Jones immediately.
We went to middle school together in gifted and talented, and then I left. He's a year younger than me, but I left, decided not to go to the high school and go to the other high school in my area, and it was so shocking to see him show up.
Wow.
He's so smart. This is why I tell people, like, it's crazy to me that people don't recognize, like, in life, that you could be something great even when you're in a place that doesn't acknowledge you being great. And this one went to. Let's not knock him, and
let's talk about it.
I want to talk about these two different paths. Yes, I want to talk about these two different paths that bring both these great men here. This one, intelligent, went to Purdue, engineer. Come on, explain these people what you do. Explain to people what you do.
I love Gary. Came down here to Indianapolis, IUPUI. Have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. So I've been working at Commonwealth Edison, which is ComEd, for 10 years now.
Chicago, if you watch the news every day.
Right. We always on right. They always trying to bash ComEd. You know, but I've been blessed, you know, in the path and the things that I decided to do because I wanted more. And I've seen so much destruction from, you know, the hood and poverty and things. I just want to do more for myself and my family. My family's been my biggest motivation. I wanted to put them on a bigger platform and everything, plateau and everything. Make sure we comfortable.
That name means something. That last name means something. You give it to your child. You make it make sense.
That Dunham is that carry weight up there.
That's why because of our last name, we take it, we own it, make it great.
Make it great.
And I just really want to highlight that, because again, you have a man here that's saying you have a man that's had males in his life, his dad, but then you have males that you have this man here
and
who didn't have his dad.
So even still, his mother, his mother made sure he had a male.
Absolutely.
Like I tell people, that's the most important thing that this one has. Has several. He had this one that made a difference. Like because when we grew up, it was not cool for nobody to go to school. Especially not a black male.
Exactly.
My graduating class probably had 100, maybe 150.
We had 125 people that got a degree, but 99 walked. And black men probably about 20 to 30.
It's serious.
I believe it.
About 20
so
to 30.
For him to go through school, and even in our area, because in the gifted and talented program there, it was expected for y'all to show. He said, "No, I'm gonna go to school in my area." Still go to school. Small percentage. It's crazy. So again,
it is. It is. I mean, the odds are stacked against us as black people anyway.
Exactly.
And that's why I will say kudos to meeting like-minded people like y'all. Like I said, talking to Ray.
Let's cheers to you doing this guy where he's a Mason. I mean, like let's
Illuminati. Like Kanye say, don't send your killers. Don't send them, Jay.
Nah. Respect. And I mean, Ray, on your end, like, what do you think the males in your life have brought you to in your path, like your journey, like?
I mean, it's just like where I'm at with my daughter. You know, my daughter, that's my baby.
Right. Listen, that girl looks dead on him. Like that is racial.
I know that she right.
She's beautiful.
9.
Now, okay, I'm doing 8. Okay, yeah. That's
Okay.
They're twins.
Yes, sassy 9.
So that's my baby. So I think all of that, just like I say, seeing my dad take care of his kids and seeing my grandfather do what he did with no education, it made me kind of like, bro, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Ain't no excuses. Ain't no excuses. Like,
It be a lot of dudes. I will say, like, even for what Pete was saying, it's a lot of men that will use an excuse.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, it's hard for me to understand it because I didn't go through what he, the direction. Yeah. But sometimes it's like, motherfucker can't be like, nah.
Right. But at the same time, what does it feel like to not have somebody show up for you?
Yeah, and let me just say this too. That's not just a man thing. Women, we're good for that too. Because let's be honest, we have women that have a lack of male influence. A lot of women, their fathers or whatever the case was not in their life. We have to start holding, and I literally just had this conversation with somebody. But listen, as women, we have to start holding each other accountable as well. A lot of times, because I understand we are women. We are women.
You had a baby with him. Let him be great. You thought he was great when he was.
Yeah, we're women.
Let him be great. And when he's not laying it, still, it doesn't matter. You saw something great. Let him be great to his child. If you feel like it stops here, guess what? In her life, she only knows that this is great. Let her have it. Yeah. She deserves that joy.
But we do though, as women, I feel like we definitely can be better with holding each other accountable and because I don't think we do as much. I feel like with men, I don't know. I can't talk from a man's perspective, but I feel like as women, like if we see just checking each other, you know what I'm saying? Let me say this though, because a lot of times the men in our lives or whoever, whether it be a significant other, whatever, they check us and we be in our feelings. Let's be honest, we do, because it's coming from a male's mouth. It's like, nah, you wrong.
We feeling some type of way.
But as women, there's no checks and balances there with us as women. It's really not.
It's not.
I think
get past your emotions, because you will take something from your children that they don't deserve to take it from them.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, your daughter deserves to have you, whether you with that mother or not. Yeah. She deserves to have a father in her life. And I think that's crazy to deny, especially as women, if you didn't have one, to deny your child. To have one.
That's correct.
Just because it's not up to your standard. Who cares? She doesn't know.
Or because you didn't have it yourself.
Yeah, and then you rob your children of it.
Let's be honest.
You take it.
Let's go ahead and be 100% honest. I feel like there are some women that literally are, let's call it what it is. I think some women get jealous of their own kids if the father is like actually there. I'm talking about those women who didn't have that, and so like you said, they will try to rob.
That's because a lot of people will not admit, but there's a lot of folks out there that got daddy and mommy issues.
That's it.
They got a lot of issues that
and they call it, but they only call it.
They want to dress it up and they want to call it on daddy. And it's a lot of women out here who haven't even been taught to be a woman because they have been, deprived of a good mother. When you got babies raising babies,
that's it.
It can also be a trickling effect. Now, it's not an excuse, but once, like my man Ray said, a lot of people will hold on to it as an excuse.
It's sad to say, but if you see a dumb little girl, look at her mama. It's hard to say. When you don't grow, you cheat your children out of having something better.
Absolutely.
You teach your people around you of having something better. We all are not supposed to stay in one place. We're supposed to grow like flowers. So when you don't, you stunt everybody's growth around you. As a queen, a real queen in queenism, I stunt no one's growth. I only add to you. I never take away.
Absolutely.
I only add to you.
And on that, you gotta want to have growth as well. That person needs to want to have growth, because you can, like they said, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. So for real.
No, that's real. Yeah.
And that's why I say I love having these discussions, because accountability, empathy, all these things.
Accountability is huge.
Some of us are in this box where we're scared to say that something's so good in our face that we don't even want to take it. That means you have access to everything in your phone. That means if a woman right now is sad and crying, she can get online right now and find a therapist. Google it.
Google.
So
I'm telling you.
My thing is there in this day and age.
And you can't blame COVID because they're doing webcam.
Before COVID.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Michael Phelps was doing on what's his little matter of fact thing, and he was announced. I mean, I watch Discovery Channel all the time, so sorry y'all. They play the same commercial. And he literally had a commercial where you can speak to a therapist through online. And it's before COVID. Like there's, with the day and age that we have now, accountability, like Ray was saying, is a real thing. There's no excuse. No excuse. Even when I have a father present, having several males present, there's no excuse not to show up.
Absolutely.
None at all. Accountability is huge, and a lot of people will make excuses on other people. They play that victim role because they don't want to seem like the bad person. And that's something that helped me a lot. A lot of the issues I was dealing with and a lot of the flaws and mistakes, it was just one day I woke up and said, stop pointing the finger at everybody else.
Absolutely.
Take accountability of it. And then once you realize once you realize what your flaws is, and it's actually you're your competition.
That's
you're the one that's against you. Everybody else got their own problems. They ain't thinking about you. Some people wake up thinking like, oh, who hating on me or who thinking this? Man, nobody thinking about you.
Yeah.
They think about their own life. They ain't thinking about you.
They be hating on me. Who is they?
Who is they?
You hating on you. You is they, sis.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is they?
Nobody told you to think that.
Turn off the DJ Khaled songs and looking at damn mirror.
Look at that mirror.
Bitch. We need to have a conversation because we're not doing this right. It doesn't even feel right, and I'm suffering. And nobody deserves to live a life where they're suffering.
Absolutely.
Let it go and whether you let astronomy, however, whatever, let it go and let everything and let it.
And this is all important.
Do what you're supposed to do. Put that good energy out and just.
And this is important because these are people that, may be looking for relationships, whether it be a man, it's for men or women.
I'm so glad you said that. We as women on our end, the accountability part, especially speaking as, as these males go, is finding relationships that women study for a lot of things. They'll master a lot of things, and we don't think that mastering being a wife is a real thing.
No, we don't. Like I say, there's no book on how to be a wife.
It's not, but should it not?
Or when we're raised by let's be honest, we're raised by our mothers or grandmothers. They're not teaching us how to be wife. Like they're not this is how you do it. We don't get those lessons.
We don't. And it cheats these men out of what they need, because I have a son, and this is crazy, y'all. I thought about it one day that my son, he said something so crazy, and I was like, oh my God. And I thought about it like, man, bless the woman that takes you on. You're not gonna come out the gate knowing everything. But I would hope that you would have a woman that is kind, patient,
understand,
and
communication is key. Talk about everything. That's number one. Communication is number one.
Talk to myself.
That's such a cliche saying, but it's so real.
Sometimes I had to check it. Because this child doesn't know what I had to go through to get here and why I am the way I am. He only looks at me as this wonderful woman.
Wonderful rich woman.
No, but I don't want him
my mother rich bitches.
I do occasionally. I try not to go out the house and spend $300 a day. My husband's like that, like she does. But he won't know. And I just really hope and pray that there's a woman out there in this world that literally would take her time, her patience, to really guide him through that and put that love in him because once you put that battery in these kings back, that's what we tell these women. You don't have to be everything. You don't have to go out there and make all that. No, let me tell you, you put the battery in their back and they go. And and then when that reward system is real, so when they feel it and they reward it, they come back to the person to help them get there.
Absolutely.
You are richer than you ever know. And as these women chase this paper, don't chase it. Chase what's more important. Relationships are your greatest wealth.
Absolutely. That money come and go.
Yeah, the money gonna come regardless. You know what you're supposed to do, that's gonna come in. So I mean, when you start chasing money, you really fail.
And I'm sorry.
That's deep right there.
I gotta say this for me. I'm I know I'm not a man, but I will say this. Some of y'all men is all about chasing these women. Chase your damn business first, and them women will come.
Oh,
when you chase
this one.
I'm gonna let Ray go first. I was about to say something. Go ahead.
Once you get money, women go follow regardless.
They're automatically. So that's why I say
Ray came from that. I feel like that's the energy.
Focus on the money. Focus on that stuff first. And not to mean like, oh, I gotta be making a certain.
Right.
But focus. That's why I say focus on your business. That's money. That's what you're trying to add. All of that. That's going to come. Right. To me, I'm gonna be honest. There's nothing less attractive than a man that don't got his business together.
This the thing that and I ain't trying to step on your toes, but that's the difference. I'm just correct. I don't want to use the word correct because I don't want to sound like I'm stepping.
No.
But that's the thing. The thing is, you said
talk heavy, man. You talk real heavy.
You said men. Actually, those are boys.
Boys, that's it.
That's what it is. Those are boys chasing that, chasing that life. A real man, though, if I'm gonna handle my business, I ain't got to flash. I remember one time, and I'll put it like this. I remember one time I posted the Facebook memories. They all remember these dumb shit. Yep. I posted a picture of about 4,000 on the table, some guns, and I look back, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I ever did in my life.
And you, what was the cat?
I was about 21, 22 years old. I was dumb as hell. Now I'm 35, it's like, I ain't got to post none of that. Because when you got your business affairs in order as a man, women gon' see that. They gon' see it. And I will say, I be in the inbox, but women be in my inbox too.
I know they do.
They already know. They see our travel. They see stuff.
Like what they see.
What's the statistics now? It's like 10 women for every one man or something crazy.
You know, it's the law of attraction.
That's where there you go.
All the time.
They gonna see what they want.
Absolutely.
Now they gonna go for it, but dudes gotta quit trying to act like money is everything. It has its perks.
Exactly.
But it's gonna attract the wrong thing.
That's correct.
It is. That's why I say
I feel like Ray speaks from a lot of experience. So I believe y'all should listen to him. Because I feel like he's telling y'all this heart to heart, like that's not it. It's not longevity.
Definitely not.
It's not.
The money gonna be good, you gonna be flash, you gonna be stunting, but you gonna attract women that's only for that.
That's only for that.
Fuck around, get set up.
And then let's be real, when you hit a rough patch or that stop, so then
when that money goes,
see ya. They would like the roll run.
And that's the truth.
Come on now, that's real. Absolutely, no, that's real.
A real woman who appreciates what you're doing and you got your business affairs in order as a man, you don't have to tell your salary, you don't have to tell none of your business. They gonna see it.
I feel like you shouldn't. What do you feel like when you're going on a first date, I don't know, you getting to know a woman. Yeah. It's one of my questions. It's something for later on. I agree.
Like she's definitely right. No, I definitely said it. I need to know, I feel like a lot of women really need to honestly know what a man, a real king is looking for when he is looking for a potential queen, because I think they confused.
Yeah. What does that look like?